Hello, everybody, and welcome to our much belated Misscliks Vigilantes. How are you guys doing today?
Vigilantes.
Hello.
Vigilante.
Vigilantes.
Yes,
Sí.
yes.
Jugamos. As you can see, that is not Haley, baby. Who are you? Person who
Rosin.
is joining us.
Vigilantes. How are you
And
guys
what do
I'm
you
known
do?
as Rosin. Just a fan of Misscliks, Snail, and everything Twitch, basically.
Yes, Rosin is one of my moderators who is going to be filling in and has been around for a while.
Yes, Haley baby had internet issues, and so did I, which was why the stream was so delayed and why you don't see her here. Hopefully we will see her as a guest, but thank you to Rosin for filling in. Really, really appreciate it. And guys, if you saw on Twitter, we teased that at the end of tonight's show, you will get a really awesome surprise announcement, and some of you have an idea of what that might be. So do stick around for that. It's going to be pretty epic. And you have a returning guest holding a freaking adorable dog right there that I just want to squeeze. It's Sushi Sam. If people haven't seen you before, Sushi Sam, who are you?
I am a Twitch streamer that's been streaming for about 5 years, and I have recently joined their Vigilantes campaign. And that's pretty much it. And this is my corgi. Oh, okay. This is my corgi Lana.
Oh, she said hello. Oh, I died.
Yeah, she's very vocal.
So, in case you missed last week, Vigilantes, or Vigilantes, as I like to call it, is our interim campaign. It's coming between Misscliks D&D Demigods, which just ended, and a new campaign that is coming, and you're going to see lots and lots and lots of guests in this interim during Misscliks D&D Vigilantes, starting now. And if you missed our characters last week, let's give just a brief discussion of who they are. Stephanie Harvey is obviously not here. She's busy doing all sorts of professional esportsy type stuff. So Rosin is going to be playing her character, Soli. And do you have a pretty good grasp of who Soli is so far, Rosin?
She's kind of a person who's got her head put on straight compared to everybody else a little bit there. Cleric, but strong-willed. Former fighter there out in the war that they just came back from.
Spot on. Well done.
Yeah. And I am playing Tamsin and Lancaster, who are Siamese twins, joined at the entire body except for the brain. So they have two separate brains.
Does that mean that your head actually has like two big bumps and it's not that pretty?
No, it's perfectly normal shaped, but they just have two brains in there. Some people might think that it's just a crazy person who is not actually a Siamese twin who thinks that they have two Siamese twins, because back then medical technology probably wouldn't have progressed to the point where they could prove or disprove that there were two brains in one person's head. So who knows? Tamsin and Lancaster may be crazy, but they are pretty sure they're Siamese twins. And for no explicable reason whatsoever, except for that they wanted people to be able to tell them apart, Lancaster has a Scottish accent and Tamsin has an English accent, or my best approximation thereof.
And on to the second insane character, Jen.
I'm not insane. What are you talking about? So I'm playing Alexis. We have discovered that Alexis is a halfling rogue. So very short, but it's actually a tall and skinny halfling rogue, because we established that my character looks like a halfling, actually.
Right.
A quarterling, as we called it.
A quarterling.
Right.
A quarterling. And my character has a British accent mixed with a French accent. And my character is actually very paranoid. During the war, trying to infiltrate to find out the intentions of the king, or if actually like the people in the troops at war were maybe doing something that they shouldn't be doing. She's from a thieves guild. She has a lot of nervous tics, always thinks she's being followed. Big conspiracy theories.
And then there's Rocker.
So I play a 50-year-old crazy, insane lady who is a wild wizard, and she is very in love with her mushroom. They call her Rocker because she's off her rocker, and that's all the kids would what the kids would say to her. She was drafted in the war by force because in her village they were running out of people to volunteer, so they had to force people, and they picked her, unfortunately. And she's very, very insane, which you will see in the campaign throughout. She likes to talk to ghosts, or they may not be ghosts. She just might be like figments of their imagination, but she's pretty out there, to say the least.
I think that's the right term for her.
See, it's like if you've been watching House of Cards, you can tell that show's really smart by how often they ask you to decide what you think about a situation without spoon feeding you. And so our show is obviously on the exact same level of production as House of Cards. And you have to decide for yourself what you think about these characters. Are they crazy, or are they actually way smarter than everyone else? You never know.
I think Steph's character would probably be the worst now, since there's all those people coming in to take their part.
Sorry, I didn't get that last part. What was that?
Since there's like so many special guests coming in to fill her role,
yes.
It's going to be like the most multiple personality that we have.
That's a really good point, actually. She's supposed to be the sane one, and she's going to end up having more personalities than me.
She's going to bounce around from week to week, being completely different, and she's actually going to come back in like week 5 or 6, and her character is going to be, instead of using a spear and a cleric, is going to be like now a multi-class cleric thief fighter who uses a 2-handed battle axe. And she's going to be very confused.
You never know. People change,
Yeah, especially that character.
Yeah. And what we're doing right now, what we found last week, is, as the name Vigilantes implies, we have found ourselves at odds with the law of our land. We love our country, we love our kingdom and our king, but right now there is someone in charge whose name is Meximorph, which sounds like an Animorph mixed with some sort of fast food Mexican place. But Meximorph is the bad sheriff kind of guy, and he's overtaxing the people and putting them in abject poverty, but he's in charge while the king is away at battle. And so we have decided that in order to make sure that the kingdom is not ruined in his absence and the people are not subjugated, that we should rise up against him. And we decided that those who are not with us are against us, and we must, completely originally rob from the rich to feed the poor.
Yeah, so we robbed from the rich by borrowing Farmer Brian's horses. The rich Farmer Brian.
And we
right?
ended up trading his
rich.
horses, which we had no right to do, but we did anyways.
Yeah.
Hey, when you're a vigilante, you have to make calls on what you think is best for the good of the realm. And that's what we did.
And clearly, Farmer Brian.
So we have 3 horses named Polish, Old Thomas, and then Spunk.
Right.
No.
Yep.
Foolish, Carrot Slug, and Old Thomas.
No, we changed Carrot Slug to Spunk. I have it written down.
No, I think it's Carrot Slug.
Well, either way, Rocker will probably still call it Spunk.
And I shall call it Carrot Slug.
Okay, so and we heard about a thieves guild.
Yeah.
And decided that we should head there because I forget why. Why were we going there?
Jen, it was your idea?
Because I had some contacts in that thieves guild because I come from there. So I figured maybe we can work with them to take down Meximorph.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the party had left Flatstone and traveled day and night to get to Renava. And we come into game with the party just arriving in Renava one fairly early day, because you've been traveling day and night. So you get in there a little bit before noon, a little after sunup, somewhere in that morning section. The city is unwalled, and not even quite a city. It's pretty much just like a large town surrounded by farmland. out in the woods. And so you guys pull on in. There's two town guards at the front. One of them kind of lazily leaning against a spear. The other one is much younger. He looks a little bit too young, maybe like 14 or 15 years old. The other guy being 40 or 50. So you kind of have the extremes, like the guy who's been a town guard his whole life and is just kind of waiting, making sure nothing bad happens, and the kid who's like looking around everywhere, like, is that no? Okay, everything's fine here. Everything, really excited about his job.
And these are the like city guards at the gate, you said?
Yeah, most of the city guards these days tend to be people too young to join the army or people too old to join the army. And so all the young fighting men and women have been taken off to war, and you're left with these, outliers on the battlefront here.
And then I'm like, psst, psst, guys, be careful. I don't know how to speak British. God damn it, I lost it all. This is
You can do it.
Ah, shit. Okay, I'm gonna say, I suspect that they know about the thievery. Look at the way they're looking at us.
Aye, laddie, have you heard of a thieves guild around these parts?
You say
Yes.
To the boy.
Oh, God.
Boy picks him and goes, yeah, I've heard about the Thieves Guild here, and kind of starts jogging over to you. The older man gives you just like a sidelong glance, shrugs, and goes back to just looking around. Are you here to take them down? Those thieves have been a menace for this town for decades now.
A menace, you say? Why is that?
Well, they're thieves, right?
And who they be stealing from?
Stealing's wrong. They've been stealing things. They've been a menace to the town. And he looks over his shoulder at the old guy for like reassurance and approval of his ideas, and the old man just doesn't pay any attention to him.
Well, laddie, you look like a smart one to me. Someone strong, strapping, who should be right at the front lines. Am I right?
My mom says I'm too young.
Aye, that may be the case, but I'm sure you know that you must steal from your enemies for the good of the realm, eh?
What? Are you saying that you should steal things?
Only from your enemies. If you take your enemy's life, are you not stealing from him?
I kind of waddle up and I like tug on that guy's armor. I'm like, hello? Hello?
The old guy or the boy?
Oh, the boy. Sorry.
Oh, okay.
The boy kind of looks at you and looks back at the other one. I never thought of killing as stealing life, but I guess... I mean, you don't have his life then, you're just breaking his life.
Well, if I take your coin, but I don't keep it, didn't I still steal your coin?
I guess.
You're a smart one, laddie. I think we have much in common.
I've
Tell me
stolen-
where this thieves guild is.
I don't know. If I knew, I'm sure we would have gotten all the guys together and gone and just taken the whole place by force.
Yeah, I don't think we'd find them like just wandering around the streets. They'll find us easier than we find them. If we have a thick purse, they'll probably try to take it.
Tamsin kind of brushes her hair back and says, have you not heard any clues, at least?
Why? What do you mean clues?
As to where they might be.
Kid shrugs.
Well, you've been doing a great job, so I feel like this town is quite safe. Thank you for your service. Now move along, group.
I thank you for your service.
Let's get a drink. We'll
Yes,
find something
yes.
there.
Yes.
Yeah, strong drink would be good right about now.
I have heard that the best place to find any information at all in our world is at a tavern.
That sounds quite reasonable.
You can find carrots at taverns too.
Indeed.
And then
Let's just hope we don't find those slugs.
Yeah, not a tavern.
So you guys start looking around for a tavern, and you come into sight of a building called Clarence's Confidential Contract.
How quaint.
All right, Neil. So, how much info do I have about this Thieves Guild? Do I know how to get there?
You
Oh, I
don't-
forgot you know them.
Yeah, I know. That's why I was like, God damn it.
Tamsin and Lancaster both forgot too.
That's fine. I was like, I know what are you doing? It's fine.
I mean, by nature, a thieves guild isn't like there's not like a meeting hall where everyone comes and hangs out. It's more of like an agreement between people and very what is it? It's not a centralized organization. So you know how to kind of slip in a little bit of thieves' cant, which is like the street slang that is spoken just among various thieves type people. You can weave that into your conversation to try and like feel out other people who might be thieves in the nearby area, and then normally if you're dropping something like that into the conversation, the other person will pick it up, and then you can kind of give each other clues that you're both underground type folk.
Okay.
And I don't mean
Would I know
dwarves.
which bar is the best one to go to for higher thief encounter ratio?
Well, Clarence's confidential contract is kind of the place that you'd want to be.
Right.
I mean, not to judge a book by its cover or anything, but its name is confidential contract.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah.
Alright, guys. Let's head here. It sounds like the right place.
All right.
Sounds good.
Okay.
Except
the
if
way.
we're being followed. And then I turn around and I'm like, nope, we're good. We're good. Quickly!
Just scuttle on in, just following everyone.
I like kind of prance behind her, like, ooh, cookie.
Cool.
Just cozy on in.
You guys step on in, and it is a dimly lit room. There's a hearth in the center, and some light coming in from the windows, but most of the windows have been boarded up. The walls are fairly thick, and they're made from, it's kind of like a log cabin sort of thing with like big tree trunks all around, which really helps to insulate it from the outside, both sound and light and warmth and all that fun stuff. So you step on in, and the inside is a little bit loud. There's people chatting. There are 3 people sitting over on one side in this little slightly raised stage, playing music with someone singing a cappella along with it. And the rest of the people down here are just kind of being, what is the term? Boisterous? More boisterous than you'd expect for like 10 a.m. And also, looking around this place, there's a lot of people in here for the morning. Like a lot of people.
Alright. Then I guess I head up to the bartender and I'll ask, hello, how come there's so many people in here at 10 a.m.?
Well, I wouldn't have a successful business if it wasn't full at all points of the day and night.
Is there a big event coming up?
I don't-
Something that would make people get up for today?
We're selling beer.
Do you mean
Alright.
to tell me that people in this town drink beer at 10 a.m. in the morning as though it were water?
Don't you?
Well, of course.
Well, there we go.
But
And
I thought I was in the minority.
no, he pulls out a glass and starts to fill it up, and then just puts it in front of you and goes, "That'll be 2 copper."
Did we? Oh, I have 10 gold pieces. Okay. I can break that up though, right?
I mean, you can give him a gold, and he will give you change.
Okay.
Yeah.
I give him a silver instead because I'm so impressed and excited by him.
So you give him a gold piece, and when he makes you change, you give him.
Leave some on the counter like
Got
a
it.
tip.
All right, so you have 9 silver in exchange.
And I say, cheers, sir.
He grabs an empty glass and clinks it with you, and then fills it, then goes on to the next customer.
I am quite enjoying the revelry, and I'm like leaning against the bar, sipping my beer and looking around and waiting for Alexis to tell us what to do next.
Alright, I'll go mingle in the crowd. I'll see if I can find anything. Be right back! And then I'm like, "Poo-poo-poo-poo." I look around to make sure I'm not being followed. And
I mean, what race are you? You're the half-halfling, right?
Yeah.
How tall are you?
4 feet tall, exactly.
Okay, so you're kind of walking around at everyone's like sternum level. Your eyes are like looking at everyone's bellies as you move from place to place, and you
I'm
can't tell if you're
trying-
being followed. You're just like in a sea of giants as you walk through this this tavern.
Okay, so I'm trying to look for someone who would have like thief-like gear, like either a cape or maybe a dagger hanging around their waistline, something like that.
Yeah, there's a lot of
thief's
people with
waistline?
daggers around their waistlines. It's,
Really? Or
it's pretty
thief's
common to
tool?
like keep a knife or something on you, not necessarily for combat, but you always need a knife for something like cutting some meat, maybe cutting some rope, whittling
So
something in
thieves
your spare
don't really
time.
have anything that makes them stand out at all.
If they did, they would be really terrible thieves.
Yeah, probably. Alright, then I guess I'll just... is there any halflings?
Yeah, you do spot a small table of halflings.
Okay, then I'll go to the table of halflings.
While everyone's doing that, I'm just kind of going to, like, from one customer to the other, like, do you steal? No. Do you steal? No.
What race are you?
Steal? I'm a human.
You're human. Okay. You're old, right? You're really old.
I'm 50.
Yeah.
Not that old.
Yeah. So
She acts like she's like 80 though.
the first person
I'm
you go
like-
up to and you're like, "Do you steal?" The person's like, "Excuse me? What?"
I kind of like pet their head. Okay. And I just go to the next person.
You get.
Do you steal like thieves?
Of course not. How dare you imply that? Why, you impugned my honor, madam.
Okay. And then I just walk away. Do you... And I go to the next person. Do you guild like thieves steal? And I just don't make any sense.
You just continue to get, piss some people off. Then eventually, the people are watching you, and then you'll walk up to someone and say something, and then those two people will make eye contact, and they're like, I don't. And then pretty soon, like, everyone's making eye contact that you're talking to, and they're all like, huh?
Good at distracting them. Good.
They're all very confused. Jen, you went over to the table of halflings,
Yeah.
and
Yeah. And then I will ask if I can sit down with them.
ooh, you're quite a tall one, aren't you?
Thank you for recognizing it. The tall people actually don't seem to think so. It's very disappointing.
Well, have
Yes.
a seat there, partner.
Yes, thank you. Nice to meet you. So what do you guys do around here? Why is there so many people at the bar at such an hour?
Well, it's Saturday.
Good reason to drink. So what do you guys do for a living?
I'm a farmer. I'm a farmer. I'm a farmer. I'm a farmer. They take turns saying.
I'm a traveler.
How do you make a
I'm
living
thinking- I was
traveling?
like, ooh, I travel with a group of people, and we just do jobs here and there. Is there like a T4 I can swing into that sentence somewhere?
Yeah, you can start dropping in bits of thieves' cant as you please.
So I would try to talk about also like how I was part of the war at some point, but dropping some hints about being a thief.
Let's roll some dice. So as you mentioned, like going around from place to place, doing odd jobs, you slipped in into the slang word for jobs to imply like maybe not the most legal type of jobs, like work, that sort of job. And one of the farmers who's like, oh yes, my sister does that sort of work all the time.
That's interesting. Interesting.
Quite the conversationalist, aren't you?
Hey! I've actually been around these parts previously. Did I ever meet her? What's her name?
Her name is Gildy.
Do I know her? No. Oh, I've never met her.
Well,
Did I know the name of the... Is there a secret name for the guild or something?
no. It's, as I said, it's not like a centralized, structured organization, and more of like an agreement among thieves that you don't get in each other's way. You don't do these. You kind of work together, and then there's some sort of like profit sharing between people. Like there's a. It's not a centralized not nervous system, centralized network, but there is like a person who oversees it vaguely. He's like the head thief in the area, and if you don't give him 10% of your loot, he comes and steals all of your loot from you. So it's not so much like a centralized organization as like there is a
Kingpin?
Yeah, kingpin's not quite the right word, but it's something like, I guess you could say he's the biggest fish in the pond, and if the other fish don't give him some of his food, he will eat them.
Okay.
So wouldn't Jen know who that is?
I don't know him. Yeah.
I mean, you know of him, but you don't know what he looks like or where he is. You've never fished in this pond.
Okay. Shit, I don't remember where I was going with this. This English accent is really confusing me. I think I'm gonna forget it for a little while and try to get back to it. Where was I? I'm tired. I'm sorry. So yes, sister.
Yeah, he's got a sister that does that kind of work.
Yeah. Too bad I don't know her. Does she hang out around here ever?
Well, yes, she's up on stage right now singing.
Oh, really?
You look to the stage and you see this short, fat, squat halfling with kind of like hair coming off of the side of her cheeks and muddy brown ponytail that's kind of split into the separate sections. Like it goes from a ponytail to pigtails and then back to a ponytail, or like a braid that breaks into two or something. I don't know how to describe it.
Yeah.
But it's like a weird hairstyle, and it's all kind of fussy and mussy and dirty.
Sweet. I love people who sing, and I like just head over there. I'm like la 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 la, trying to sing along with the beat.
Sean or Anna, any actions?
Just order a beer, basically, or ale.
Okay.
Yeah,
And just kind of look around the bar.
Sorry.
Tavern. Go ahead.
2 more copper for your beer. I don't know how much cash you have on you since I didn't have that for Stephanie's character sheet, but just put like -2 CP.